ONETV Special Report.
The chair noted that the member of this august body voted yes, the three of the members. Yes, Honorable.
Yes, Honorable Sir, thank you. And the penalty will be arrived at the Constitution during our caucus later on, Honorable Sir. So we now proceed to letter C, and assigned basis whereby you have 8 initiations to order basis. And may begin with the first, Honorable Sir, resolution adopting and enjoining the strict implementation of Public Act number 4206, amended by Public Act number 5546, an act prohibiting the sale of tickets and collection of contributions for whatever purpose from students and teachers, public and private schools, colleges, and universities within the city of Ozamiz. It was approved on the proceeding only during our earlier deliberation, Honorable Sir. And I yield to Honorable OAMINAL to recommend action for the second and final reading on this subject resolution, Honorable Sir.
The Honorable Waminali, you are now recognized by the chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. By adopting this measure, this honorable body affirms its support for the no collection policy in a manner that it is constructive, non-punitive, and consistent with sound legislative practice. So it allows us to stand in solidarity with our educators, while at the same time upholding the welfare of our learners and their families. So on that premise, Madam Chair, I move that this resolution be approved on second and final reading, waiving the internal rules of this Sanggunian on joint motion.
Ordinance.
Honorable Chair, I join the Honorable OAMINAL in his recommendation to approve this on second and final reading, because this paper, this is now the recommendation of the DepEd to have the ordinance passed to resolution, not an ordinance, Honorable Chair. Because if I may try to clarify, it precludes confusion, because in ordinance there is a penalty of 1 year, same penalty as the National Law, Public Act 5546. So if we approve this penalty, then we have to choose which penalty will have to be implemented. Of course, in that previous ordinance, the author, Honorable OAMINAL, desires that there will be only one penalty, not two. Unlike in the case of other laws like the National Law on transportation traffic regulation, which is implemented by the LTO, they have separate penalties of ranging from 1,000 to 10,000 pesos, while the LGO has an ordinance imposing only a penalty of 100 pesos for the same violation. So this is allowed by law because it comes from different jurisdictions, from the LTO, and agency, and from the LGO, a local government ordinance. So in this case, now the penalty is in national law, 546. If we pass the ordinance, there is same penalty, and will be now of quandary which law to apply, the ordinance or the national law. If you file a case based on ordinance, same penalty, then it still encroaches on the authority of the DepEd, because it might penalize teachers which are abhorred by DepEd. Because if the party to be penalized in the ordinance is a public school teacher, then we penalize a public school which is abhorred by the DepEd. Because to them, the sole authority to penalize DepEd officials belong to DepEd or the Civil Service Commission, Officer. So this is now in order now, because it's also recommended by the DepEd that a resolution will paper, same as what was done in Cebu City, when after debates on this ordinance, the City Council of Cebu City passed only a resolution enjoining the strict implementation of the no collision policy being regulated by the Honorable Chair. So this is our order, so I join OAMINAL, the decision of approval and second and final reading, Honorable Chair. I yield to my colleagues for other observations, especially the Committee on Education, Honorable Ko, Honorable Chair.
Yes, Honorable Ko, or a number of observations. Any other observations from the member of this august body? So, per manifestation of our Honorable Majority Floor Leader, that this proposed resolution of Honorable OAMINAL be converted into an ordinance to make it permanent. Para permanent.
Ordinance to be converted to an resolution, Honorable Chair. An ordinance to be converted to resolution.
An
Not
ordinance be
ordinance.
converted into resolution.
Yeah.
What is resolution? Okay. Any other comment? Hearing none, motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. We proceed to session number 2. Resolution authorizing the local executive, some non-deputies to sign and on behalf of some Senate the digital request submission for local government purpose support fund with the budget amendment in connection with the Green project. And Honorable Chair, I move the motion this budget to approve this resolution on the first reading with reservations, Honorable Chair.
Move for first reading by the Honorable Majority of this proposed resolution. Motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. In the essence of public service, on demand public interest, I move on this motion to approve this resolution for approval and second and final reading, waiving the internal laws, Honorable Chair.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution, the Honorable Majority Floor Leader is passing this on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. This resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Sam Norman J. Fuentes, to sign on behalf of Ozamiz City the digital request submission for local government support fund with the Department of Budget and Management in connection with the Green project. Motion approved on the second and final reading. Any comment? Hearing none, motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. In session number 3, a resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Attorney Sam Norman J. Fuentes, to enter into and sign on behalf of Ozamiz City the memorandum of agreement with the Department of Education and Mr. Il John Isabokay in relation to the secondment of Mr. Il John Isabokay to the local government in Ozamiz City. Honorable Chair, the Committee on Laws and Style is also recommending this secondment. Secondment is detailing an employee of the national government to the local government of some city, but the salary is still being implemented by the national agency. So it's only the transfer of assignment, but the salary and source remain the same. So I held to Chairman of Committee on Education, Honorable Chair Yoko, to introduce the recommendation on this item, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable Cecilco is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. I move to pass a resolution authorizing the local chief, Mayor Sam Norman Fuentes, to enter into and sign on behalf of the City of Ozamiz a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Education, with the Department of Education and Mr. L. June S. Abukay in relation to the secondment of Mr. L. June Abukay to the local government unit of Ozamiz City for first reading with reservations, Madam Chair.
Move for first reading with reservation. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. L. June Abukay is going to be temporarily assigned to work in the department, in the City Planning and Development Office from the DepEd. And thus this approval to authorize the local chief executive to sign into an agreement with the DepEd regarding this matter. This is for second and final reading, Madam Chair. waiving the internal rules.
Move for the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Proposition number 4, resolution approving the medical dental mission for persons deprived of liberty on 4 February 2026 by Mayor Ramiro Medical Center. And I yield to the co-chairman of the Committee on Public Health and Sanitation, Honorable Lori Fuentes to introduce the recommendation on this item, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable Lordy Fuentes Cepres is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thanks to our Majority Floor Leader. I move to pass a resolution approving the medical dental mission for persons deprived of liberty on February 4, 2026 by Mayor Hilarion A. Ramiro Medical Center for first reading with reservation, Madam Chair.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Due to the need of this resolution, Madam Chair, I hereby move to pass this on second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution, the Honorable Lordy Fuentes Cepres is passing this on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment, remarks? Hearing none, motion approved on the second and final reading.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Proposition number 5, resolution approving the conduct of local recruitment activities in San City on 20 February 2026 at piece of Ozamiz City by the Army Personnel Management Center. And move the motion to approve this resolution recruitment of the Philippine Army Personnel Management Center, Honorable Chair, for approval and first reading with reservations, Honorable Chair.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. In the exigency of public service and urgent need of public interest, I move the motion to approve this resolution approving the conduct of local recruitment activities in Ozamiz City on February 2026 at piece of San City by the Army Personnel Management Center for approval and second and final reading, waiving the internal rules, Honorable Chair.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution, the Honorable Majority Floor Leader is passing this on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules, a resolution approving the conduct of local recruitment activities in Ozamiz City on February 2026 at Peso, Ozamiz City by the Army Personnel Management Center. Move for its approval on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Proposition number 6, resolution approving the basic gender and development training for all residents of PAGSA Youth Home on 5 and 6 March 2026 by the Regional Juvenile Justice and Welfare Committee, and I yield to Chairman of the Committee on Youth and Sports, Honorable John Pellerin, Honorable Chair, to introduce the recommendation on this item, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable John Filduhay Lungsod is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Number 6 to, no? Lipat mo pa. Number 6, no? Thank you, Majority Floor Leader and Madam Chair. I would like to pass a resolution approving the basic gender and development training for the residents of PAGSA Youth Home on March 5 and 6, 2026 by the Regional Juvenile Justice and Welfare Committee for first reading with reservation, Madam Chair.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Due to the urgency of the said resolution, I therefore move to pass for a second and final reading on joint motion waiving the internal rules. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Due to the urgency of this request resolution and for public interest, the Honorable Duhay Lungsod is passing this request resolution on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules, a resolution approving the basic gender and development training for the residents of PAGSA Youth Home, and that is on March 5 and 6 by the Regional Juvenile Justice and Welfare Committee. Move for its approval on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment? Remarks? Hearing none, motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Proposition number 7, an ordinance authorizing the temporary road closure of various roads in the territorial jurisdiction of Ozamiz City for the third leg of the Square and Compass Trilogy from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. on February 7, 2026, anail to Chairman of Committee on Traffic Management and Public Transportation, Honorable Archie Romero, to endorse and recommend action on this item, Madam Chair.
The Honorable Marcelo Romero is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I move to pass this written request. An ordinance authorizing the temporary road closure of various roads in territorial jurisdiction of Ozamiz City for the third leg of the Square and Compass Trilogy from 7 p.m. until 11 p.m. on February 7, 2026, Madam Chair. Passing this for first reading with reservation.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In view of the third leg of the Square and Compass Trilogy run, Madam Chair, a road closure is essential to ensure the safety and security of all participants, as well as to facilitate the traffic flow, Madam Chair. With this, Madam Chair, I move to pass this written insertion of the Chair for second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Due to the urgency of this request, resolution, and ordinance, and for public safety, public interest, Honorable Romero is passing this on the second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment, remarks, hearing, and motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The last but not the least, upon session number 8, resolution authorizing the local safety executive, Attorney Sam Norman G. Pintis, to enter into and sign on behalf of the City Government of Ozamiz City the memorandum of agreement with the Public Education DepEd for the enhancement training workshop, the regional festival of talents, and the regional schools press conference. Ano yun to Chairman of Committee on Education, Honorable Cecilia Yuko, to endorse and recommend action on this item, Madam Chair.
The Honorable Cecilco is now recognized by the Chair for the appropriate motion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. I move to pass a resolution authorizing the local chief executive, Sam Norman G. Fuentes, to enter into and sign on behalf of the City Government of Ozamiz, the LGU, the Memorandum of Agreement with the Department of Education, Ozamiz Division, for the enhancement training workshop for the Regional Festival of Talents and the Regional Schools Press Conference for first reading with reservations.
Move for first reading with reservations. Motion approved.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. This MOA, Madam Chair, entails the financial support from the LGU to the Ozamiz contestants through the DepEd Ozamiz Division in joining the RFOOT or the Regional Festival of Talents and the RSPC or the Regional Schools Press Conference. This I move for second and final reading, waiving the internal rules.
Honorable Co is passing this request resolution for second and final reading, waiving the internal rules. Any comment, remarks, hearing, and motion approved.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. There are no pending matters on my table under item number 10, basis for third reading. Hence, at this juncture, we have a pleasure and privilege to hear on PCL matters from Honorable Dinquisiso, Honorable Chair.
The Honorable Suiso is now recognized by the Chair for some PCL matters.
For PCL matters, Madam Chair, we will be having the PCL first quarter meeting conference at Manila this coming March 4 to 6, and then we are now preparing for the travels, including the cash advances as well as the tickets and accommodations, so that we'll be given good hotels and accommodation, including the early registration, so that we will not be in a 11th hour during the March 4. It's on the way. We are now preparing the documents for that. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Suiso, for your information. That would be on March 4 to 6 in Manila. Thank you. Noted.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. May now have a pleasure and privilege to hear on matters, ISKI matters from Honorable John P. De Alonso, Honorable Chair.
For ISKI matters, Honorable Joel Lungsod is now recognized.
None at this moment, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair and Majority Floor
Okay,
Leader.
noted by the chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. May we have also the pleasure and privilege to hear on ABC matters from Honorable GG Canlas, Honorable Chair.
For ABC matters, may we recognize Honorable Candas, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For ABC matters, Madam Chair, we have none, Madam Chair.
Okay, noted. None at the
Thank you.
moment.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. May we have pleasure and privilege to hear on matters concerning the indigenous people from Honorable Dingisisa, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Suiso is now recognized for some IP matters.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. For IP matters, they convened themselves last January 28 at the IPMR office in our City Council building. And out of 11 tribal leaders of the city, 9 were present during their tribal meeting conference. Unfortunately, the chieftain were not around due to a commitment at the provincial office. But the reason that these 9 chieftains would like to call for a meeting, because I think they need to have it, because the last quarter of last year and the third quarter, there were no activities conducted or even a meeting called upon by the chieftain leader, Relinda Bation, and they feel they were abandoned or that taken care of. So that is why, according to the rules, that among themselves they could convene themselves for a meeting, and it would be very important that the leader, their chieftain Relinda, will be around. But sad to say, she was not around. So I think they will be calling again another meeting for their chieftain to be around. And in fact, it should be the chieftain who should be initiated the said meeting, so that they could have the agenda on Subanan cooperatives, the Subanan women, essential domain concerns, and barangay IPMR concerns. These are the agenda for the supposedly meeting that supposedly initiated by the chieftain Relinda. So probably they will call another meeting. Hopefully, chieftain Relinda will be present during their meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your information, Honorable Suiso.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Before I proceed to the last item of our agenda, I yield to my colleagues for any important announcement, any valuable, relevant, and material information that may wish to bring forth before its value, Honorable Chair.
Yes, Honorable Suiso, you have some information?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you very much. Last January 29 to 30, I was given a travel authority by our Vice Mayor regarding the Regional Institutional Development Support called upon by the DALG. This is in connection with the SGLG compliance of the city, and we were given a scorecard on the performance of the city for the 2023 and 2024. This scorecard is a tool to track and evaluate the LGU's performance in the implementation of the health sector reforms that we are having. And among the reported programs that needed to be reformed, we have red scoring for that. When we say red, the performance in the current year, 2023 and 2024, is lower than the national average. So I think there are 4 of the reforms that we need to do something so that we could improve our performance in the health sector. One is we don't have a functional local AIDS council, or the LAC. We have 0% for that. Second is that Ozamiz City has no percentage of fully immunized child. That's second thing. The third is Ozamiz City doesn't have the presence of approved city nutrition action plan with target. We have lower scoring and performance to that. And finally, our city of Ozamiz doesn't have any mental health program. And since SGLG will not be having the 2026 and 2027 due to calibration, our city will undergo a SGLG evaluation this coming 2028. The year is 2028. So I think we have 2 years to advance or to make good for the gaps that we have in our performance in the health sector on the reform, Madam Chair. And I will be discussing this with the chairman ng committee together with the vice chair and Dr. Irog so that they could at least introduce measures on how on our part in the legislative could contribute so that our performance will have a higher rate, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Suiso. May I request also that you can submit a written report to the Office of the Secretary for our follow-up.
Yes, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
I'll be making it today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other information from this August body to be discussed?
I guess there is none, Honorable Chair. I now move to my task. I move to adjourn the regular session, Honorable Chair.
Session is adjourned.